Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to PBTV. I'm Stu. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and it's back. We've got a load of these back in stock and in various different colours as well. So we will cover all the features on the Ssg-1. If you've got any questions, there might be quite a lot. Again, it's a love-hate relationship with this thing. Some people love it, some people hate it. But again, Airsoft is played how you want to, therefore this is how it sits. Defo growing on me, looking at getting one. Kit right on Facebook. So, well, if you're thinking about it, stick around. We'll go over what this thing's capable of and what features it's got and see if it does tick them boxes for you. As we've said, if you do like it, if you don't, Airsoft is you play Airsoft how you want to, not how everyone tells you to. So if you do like it, jump on it and enjoy it, because it is a very unique build. It's very different from anything else. It is there to serve a certain purpose, but it doesn't mean it can't do everything else as well. So we'll go over what it has. As always, we'll start at the front and work our way back. But first of all, we obviously had the black variant on the website for a long time. The reason why we've brought these back out is because we have all the colour variants now. So all the bits that you can see on here that are red, you can get this with them parts. So the trigger guard, the trigger, the barrel, and the enhanced muzzle brake in black, green, blue, orange, purple, red, and what they call it white, but it's actually a very chromy silver style look. So apart from that, they're all identical. It's just them sections that are a slightly different colour. For example, there's the blue one. So yeah, we've got all the different colours, and that's just the bits that are different. So coming to the front of this, big muzzle brake with two small bits of Riz on the front. Natalie on Facebook, looks kind of like a xenomorph from Aliens. Yeah, I can kind of see that. A bit of a reach out at the front. You could probably 3D print a different brake for the front and make it look like the actual mouth if you wanted, and then put another bit back here. You could make it look really interesting then, and completely against what it's sort of built for. But hey, if that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. So the two bits of Riz at the front in here, again, the sort of Speed QB and the Speedsoft style of this is to run opticless, so they don't usually run any sights, and the WML torch or a pistol torch or anything on the front of here, you can just click it and use the torch as your aiming device rather than anything else. So wherever you shine that torch, you know that's roughly where your BBs are going, and then you just put some BBs downrange, and that's the easiest way to do it. Obviously the lower one, again, you could put it on the bottom if you want. It's entirely how you want to do it. Again, there's no Riz, there's no nothing here. They've tried to make this as light as possible. It is still about 2.1 kilos, so in the world of Speedsoft and CQB, this is a heavy platform. Normally, they strip them back to as light as possible and use as fewer bits as possible. So again, they have used this CNC'd aluminium tube instead of putting a full Riz rail system on there. So when you do grab this, your thumb just sits on that little bit of rail there, meaning you can activate a torch or laser or whatever you've got on the front. Coming back to the receiver and the core of this, it is a sort of the standard G&G polymer receiver. You do have Riz on the top if you do want to put a small dot sight on there. Normally with the drop stock and everything like that, you're going to sit quite low down on this, so you're not going to want anything quite high like a T1 on a high mount. You could low mount, or even like a Vector Optics Frenzy or something like that will be perfect. And again, I've even seen people mount the dot sights up here. Just means that when you do get that sight picture down, you know exactly where it's looking. So other features on this, it is there's a lot of ambidextrous components to it, but not fully. So the actual fire selector itself is not ambidextrous. It is all on the left-hand side, but the mag release is on the right-hand side there, and there is one on the left, and the bolt hold open is on the left. You do have an ambidextrous butterfly style charging handle, so when you pull that back, it does lock open, and you might not be able to see it very well on camera, but there is a rotary style hop in there. Again, the rotary style hops are very sturdy, very stable, and they give a constant pressure on that BB, meaning that you're going to get very good results shot after shot. Once you've finished, click it closed, and we are good to go. The magazine itself is a 105 round transparent PMag style, and what you will notice is all these little yellow marks on here. They'll be very, very hard to see on camera, but what they are BB counters. So when this is full, it has 105 rounds. And then when you look around it, wherever your BBs sit, there are markings on it. So up here is 100, 90, 60, 50, 30, and obviously empty. So that just means that you can, as you're cutting around, you can sort of give a quick glance down and see exactly how many BBs you have left in your mag. Quite a quirky feature. It's very good. It's similar to the fuel gauge system on the PTS, but a little bit more accurate with exact numbers and everything on it. So another one of the unique, I'd say unique for retail. A lot of people have done this before with their own builds, but the enhanced trigger guard and the elongated trigger for obviously doing the bouncing and everything like that. The trigger response on this is extremely, extremely fast. It does have the micro trigger, and with it being elongated, if you are down at the bottom here, it doesn't take much of a pull to hit that little button. So it is, and you can feel the micro switch, and you can bounce on it quite comfortably. We do state online that this is 11.1 volts only. That doesn't mean it's not going to work on a 7.4 or a 9.6. The problem with running it on a 7.4 or a 9.6 is the fact that once the power goes down to a certain level, the MOSFET in here will shut it down and it will beep and stop working. That's why it is designed to run on 11.1. It is capable of running on 11.1, and you're going to have the best results with it. If you drop a normal battery, a 7.4 or a 9.6 in here, you might get 100, 200 rounds out of it. The voltage will slightly drop. The MOSFET will detect it. You'll hear a beep or a triple beep, and it'll shut down. You'll have to take your battery out, plug it back in, and go from there. With the 11.1, it's just going to keep going. You do have to fit it inside the stock tube, so you can fit up to maybe a 1450 or something like that in there, but there is a fuse in there, so you'll have to think of taking a couple of batteries. Flynn on YouTube, what's the length of the platform? In its current state, fully extended, I think it's about 83. With it all the way closed and with the stock down in its shortest configuration, it's about 72 centimeters. So it is adjustable for various different builds. If you've got quite long arms, depending how you're wanting to sit this in your shoulder. So with it fully extended, you've got it in a very similar sort of M4 style platform. If you want to drop it down a little bit, this Allen key here, if you undo that, you can actually drop the stock all the way down. So the actual position of the stock angle is adjustable. So you can take this and drop it all the way down to here. I think it's about 45 it'll go to, allowing you to if you're wearing your dye mask, goggles, full face, anything like that. What that allows you to do is adjust this so you can get a decent cheek weld and either see down the riz, see down the side, or see down whatever optic you've put on here as comfortable as possible. Again, going back to the MOSFET, it does have a 3-round burst option. So we've got safe, semi, and full auto. If you put this on semi and pull the trigger and hold it down for 10 seconds, there's a little red light on the MOSFET that will blink. Your full auto will then become 3-round burst. Again, if you just wanted to conserve a little bit, or you just not really that bothered in full auto, you just want to get them a few rounds down, it is an option pre-built into the MOSFET that is in this and other platforms with the same MOSFET and receiver in here. To turn it off, you just repeat the process on semi, pull the trigger, and again, it changes your 3-round burst into full auto. This thing out of the box is doing 335 FPS on a 0.2, so you're sitting at that really nice, comfortable power limit, because again, this is designed to be CQB. There are some CQB sites that do not allow 350. They sit at that 328, 330 mark, and it sits quite nicely there. If you're wanting to get this and change it, that's totally fine. Just be aware that there are some sites that will make you run at 328 plus or minus 10%. Hod on YouTube, as much as I believe it's an atrocity, I appreciate how well it's been built for purpose. Exactly, and that's the right attitude to do. If it's not for you, that's fine. This has been built for people who want to play like this and allow people to play like this. If you want to play the sport in a certain way, don't let anyone dissuade you. If you've seen people play Speedsoft, if you've seen people play Milsim, if you just want to grab some kit and play a Sunday skirmish, play it that way. Don't let some people say that they're playing it one way and it's right, because they're wrong. You can play it in any way, shape, or form that you like. And if you want to run around with this, that's totally doable. You can run around this CQB. It's a G&G. It's got all the bells and whistles. There's all like the Predator and the ARP and all them really good platforms that have been proven. This thing will perform outside just as well as any of them. Just because it's been built specifically in mind for that sort of fast aggressive play of CQB, Speed QB doesn't mean it can't run outside. And again, for the guys that think the way that Speed QB is played is wrong for certain things, if you learn how to play it, you can learn how to beat them. So if you just talk to them, the guys that play Speed QB are more than happy to talk about it. It's how they like to play the sport. They will talk to you for hours and hours and hours about it. Learn how they play it, learn their tactics, and that's how you're going to beat them. Makes sense. We've got Flynn. Can you get it to glow? Can you get a glow in the dark variant? I'm not aware of that, but you can get glow in the dark paint. So if you wanted to do that, that's probably what I'd do. If you wanted to take all the red bits off, or you wanted to do the whole thing, I know that there's a certain car retailer that sells glow in the dark paint. So yeah, that'd be a very interesting. I think it's glow in the dark or it's UV activated. So one of the two. If you do it in stripes, it'll work both ways as well. Ryan. Completely mispronounced your name. Ryan on YouTube, what's the FPS? I was just talking about the FPS. This one's coming out at 335 FPS just before going live, and it was doing, I only had a 7.4. On a 7.4, it was doing about 13 rounds a second, but again, after about 50 or so rounds, it shut down because of the MOSFET detecting the lack of power. On 11.1, you're probably going to get a little bit more than that. But for those that are just joining us, we'll do another quick overview of the features. So this is the Ssg-1 by G&G. Again, this thing has been built for a very specific purpose of Speed QB. Doesn't mean it can't be used for normal skirmishing and just run as a normal platform. So what they've tried to do is save weight wherever they can. In doing so, it is still just over 2 kilos, so it's not the lightest platform. It does sit pretty much as standard with most AEGs, but you do have the 2 bits of RIS at the front. Normally people mount torches on here and use the thumb to activate the back of the button. So if you're using an X300 or a WML torch, it just sits there, and then your torch becomes your aiming device. Rather than a laser or a dot, just wherever that torch is landing, that's where your BBs are going to land, and you're just going to put as many as you can down. A clean, simple CNC tube as your outer barrel, because you're not looking to bang loads of attachments on there. It's just there for protecting the inner barrel. RIS across the top if you are wanting to put a small dot sight like, say, a Vector Optics Frenzy, something very low profile, quite wide sight pitch. I mean, you're going to pick up that dot very, very quickly. And again, if you're not wanting to run the torch, you can run a dot sight at the front. It's a narrower view, but it just means that you pick up that dot exactly when it's on target. We do have the extended trigger guard and extended trigger, so you can do your bouncing, and the magazine has a BB counter on it. So all the little triangles on here, when I can get it in the light properly, so all them triangles on there have numbers in them. So we have 100, 90, 60, 50, 30, and obviously empty, and it does have the last BB follower in there, so you do get every BB out of this. So you get 105 rounds in this, and it just does mean that you can canter, look, roughly see where your BBs are, and know exactly how many you have left. Is this live on the website now? Yes. So this is the black variant. We have the blue variant here as well. We have black, green, blue, orange, purple, red, and what they're calling white, but it is actually silver. So any bit that you see on here that is red is available with any of them colours. Just on the website now. The receiver itself is polymer and mostly ambidextrous. The bolt release and the fire selector are the only bits that aren't. Even the charging handle is ambi, and pulling that back you will find a rotary hop. It does lock open, and then you can close it with the bolt. Mag release on the right and left, and then you come back to the drop stock, another one of the unique parts of this. So someone asked the size, so it's about 82 centimeters full length, and then if you collapse it all down and then drop the stock, so this Allen key here, you loosen that, you can drop it all the way down, tighten that up, and it locks it in place. It comes down to about 72-ish centimeters, roughly. And that's purely so that when you're wearing full face, dye, walk helmet, anything like that, you can adjust this stock to sit in your shoulder and have an eye straight down the center here. The idea of this is you're not going to zero an optic to where the BBs are landing. you are 9 times out of 10 with this going to be putting rounds down and aiming off. So you're trying to get your eyesight as close to bore axis as possible. So you're looking, rather than looking here and trying to trail down, you're going to try and look exactly where the BBs are going to go. So you're not trying to zero anything. You're just putting BBs where you think someone is. You do have the rubber butt pad, and again, the battery compartment is in the stock tube. So anything, again, 11.1 volt, you're going to have to stick to about 1200 milliamp, up to maybe a 1450 if you're lucky. There is a fuse in there that you have to deal with as well. But again, I'll reiterate it. It does say on the website 11.1 only. That's if you wanted to run this a lot. 7.4s and 9.6 will work, but after about maybe 200 rounds, the MOSFET's going to detect the voltage drop and shut you down, and you'll have to take your battery out, plug it back in. You might get another 50, take it out, plug it back in. You might get another 20. This thing's designed to run on 11.1. The gearbox is designed for it, and all the bits inside are designed for it. So I know some people like it, some people don't. We've tried to cover as much as possible. It's really good talking to everyone. We hope we've covered all the aspects that some people want. And again, I appreciate that some people have even said they don't like it, but they understand it's been built for a purpose. And again, if you want to play a certain style, play a certain style, whether or not it's nice, fast, Lycra Speedsoft, or you want to spend thousands on milsim gear. Play Airsoft how you want to play it, not how someone tells you to play it. So if that's everything for today, it's great talking to you. We'll catch you again at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Keep your eyes out for our long format live stream coming on Thursday. We have an AQA coming, so that's an any question answered. We've been compiling a lot of commonly asked questions, and we're going to pull them all together and have a little discussion about them. And if you've got anything you want us to talk about, just come in, drop a question down, and we will flash it up and have a chit chat about it. But if that's everything, we'll see you in a bit.